Hi, welcome to Southern Yankee Homestead. So today I am going to attempt in making one of my favorite finger food from back home. It's called pine tart. Some people call it, there's some other names people call it, but back home we call it pine tart. So it's basically pineapple in pastry dough. Absolutely love it. It's a favorite of mine. It's a finger food. So if you're ever down in Guyana, be sure to support those vendors out there that are selling it. What we're gonna need is pineapple. So I'm gonna do fresh pineapples. A lot of people will do canned pineapples, but traditionally we do fresh pineapples because down in Guyana the climate is really good. We actually have pineapple trees, so you just go on out and grab a few pineapples off of the I wouldn't say pineapple tree because it's kind of a pineapple plant because it's kind of different. You can't really climb it, so it's not really a tree. It's more like a plant.
Shrubbery. Shrubbery.
Yeah, you just go on there and you grab a pineapple if it's ready. So here I have 2 fresh pineapples that I got from the store. They were actually on sale. I think I paid like $1.50, and they were much greener than this. You can tell that your pineapple is ripe and ready, and that it is sweet versus sour, because if you look at it, it's a little on the yellow side and it's a darker brownish color. And then you can also smell it. So if you smell it and you have that sweet aroma like pina colada, that tells you your pineapple is ready and the sugar content is higher in your pineapples. So I'm going to go ahead and cut these pineapples up, and I have to cook it down. So stay tuned. So that's it. Pineapples all chopped up, clean, there's no eyes, all peeled. And I'll do the same to the other one. Also, another thing that we did back home growing up, so back home, super basic, and we try to use everything. Like, we never really wasted anything because there's a lot of work and labor goes into whether you are doing livestock farming or whatever the case may be. So what most of our small farmers did, and kitchen gardens and so forth, we try not to have waste. So back home, once we peel a pineapple, we don't throw the skin away. We actually take the skin, like we make sure we wash it first though. We take the skin and we actually put it into a mug, and we put some hot water, we put some brown sugar in there, and we let it seep through and brew for a day, and we have pineapple drink. And we drink it, and it's so amazing. So we never really threw this away. And if you leave it longer than a couple of days, it actually starts fermenting and turn into like a pineapple wine or whatever. But this used to be a pineapple, I don't want to say pineapple juice because I don't want to say pineapple juice because you'll have to squeeze the whole fruit to get the juice. So that's why I said pineapple drink, because it's not the full the full fruit being utilized for a juice. So pretty much just take the skin, put it into a container, pour some hot water on there, and put some brown sugar, let it sit, and then strain it off, and you have pineapple drink to go with your meal. And back then it would have been a pineapple drink that you take a bottle with to school. So really some good fun memories as I cut my pineapple back home.
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
So we're making 2 batches according to the recipe that I'm using. It's called, one batch calls for 20 ounces of the cut up pineapples, which makes about 15 to 18 pine tarts. But I'm gonna be making 2 batches because this is the very first time I'm making it, and I think I've gotten very good at following recipes when it comes to baking, because for some reason Han outshines me when it comes to baking, and I've noticed he always followed the baking recipe to a T. So I've started doing that, and my products comes out really good. So with that being said, the reason I'm making the 2 batches is because I know it's gonna come out very good. Yeah, I'm confident, and I know he is gonna devour it. And I probably will too. So he'll probably have 15 for himself, and I'll have 15 for myself, and it'll probably be gone in 48 hours. No, I'm just kidding.
What she's trying to say, cooking is art, baking is chemistry.
So I'm gonna do something also different. Instead of putting the pineapple, the pieces, into a processor, I am going to Han made a really good suggestion. I'm going to use my my potato masher, and I am going to mash the pineapples maybe after 5 minutes of it being simmering. All right, so I'm going to use this to mash it up, because as I recall back home, when we buy the pine tart, there's usually little stringy stuff in there. When you bite it, it's like, oh my gosh, or little chunks of pineapples in there. So I want that same effect, because this is like a childhood favorite stuff. So I want the same effect when I make it. If I put it in the processor, it's gonna be too fine, and I wouldn't have that same effect that I had back then. So yeah, and I'm rambling, and I don't know. Yeah, I should start making this.
I do it all the time.
So we're gonna do 40 ounces because it's a double batch. Ounces of pineapples. But first, I'm gonna have pineapples all over the floor. Hopefully, Blue, you like pineapples, sweetheart? I don't think she likes pineapples.
Blue, smile.
All right, honey, let me get the camera, please. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put my pot, because I don't like doing a lot of dishes. I really don't like doing a lot of dishes. So I'm gonna put my pot on the scale, turn my scale on so that it can be at 0. And then once my scale says it's at 0, I'm gonna go ahead and start adding pineapples until it's 40 ounces. So I'm at 2 pounds, 8 ounces.
Okay.
So here I'm at 2 pounds and 8 ounces, and we have this much pineapple left. So Honey's gonna make some pina colada. We're gonna be using the sugar in the raw, which is made from sugar cane. And then we're going to be using the raw sugar cane, which is, we'll consider white sugar. But it's not like super processed out at all. And then we're going to use the dark brown sugar. So different varieties. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and put this on the stove. And we're going to turn it on to low, because we need to cook it on low for 45 minutes. So while the stove is heating up, I'm going to go ahead and start adding the ingredients. So first off, we're going to need 1/4 teaspoon of ground nutmeg. So 1/4 teaspoon ground nutmeg. 1/4 teaspoon ground nutmeg. 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, just because I don't want to dirty up the 1 teaspoon. 2 tablespoons of the dark brown sugar. So 2 tablespoons. Now look at all the lumps and clumps. Maybe I put just a little bit because the lumps takes up volume and space. 3 tablespoons of the white sugar, and again, we're going to be substituting it for our raw cane sugar. Next, we are going to use half a cup of light brown sugar. So we're using the sugar in the raw. Alright, what we're going to do next, because this is not crushed up, we're going to just go ahead and start lightly crushing it up as it comes to temp. Because the whole process for cooking the pineapples is so that we can have all the liquid, all the water part of the pineapple evaporate and have it become thick. And in essence, it's going to be caramelizing the sugar content of the pineapples and the extra sugar that I added in there. So I'm just going to go ahead and start crushing this up so that I can actually get all the water to start seeping out of the pineapples so it can evaporate. And this, so it's been simmering. So it's been simmering for more than 45 minutes because it had so much water in it. So it's now finished, and this is what it looks like all stewed down. And like I said, instead of using the food processor, I ended up using my mashed potato masher, and I mashed it throughout the time it was simmering because I'm accustomed to, I like the bits and pieces and the strand. So what I'm gonna do now, I am going to let this sit and cool, come to a room temperature before I can actually work with it. Things that we're gonna need today is going to be flour, a reasonable sized bowl, a dough mixer, butter, and a spatula. We are going to be making the crust for the filling. Stay tuned. Hope you enjoy. 3.5 cups of flour. 2 teaspoons of sugar. Alright, I'm supposed to add 1/3 cups of vegetable oil in here as well. So we're going to pour that in. Alright, and then I'm going to use my dough mixer and just try to mix it all in. We need 3/4 cups of cold water. So we can reuse this cup. Off the dry. Oh. Alright. Then I'm going to get a piece of plastic and we're going to wrap it in saran wrap. Make it into a log. About a 1-foot-long log. We're going to wrap it nice and tight. Alright, and now we're going to refrigerate this for about a few minutes. Next we're going to do 1 egg white, and we're also going to use the yolk in the egg wash. gonna whisk the egg wash up really good. Wipe, 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 wipe. Then you're gonna whisk up your egg wash. Alright, the dough's been chilling for a while. Cut a few pieces off. Alright, put a little flour on the board. That won't be my name. And then don't forget, most important thing, your pineapple filling. So you want it in a somewhat circular. If you can get it in a nice circular rolled out, that'll be great. If you can't, no big deal. Then for the edges, you want to get some egg white around the edges. Get some. Make sure you don't be shy with the egg white, because the egg white is what's gonna seal it and prevent the stuff from coming out while it's being baked. So make sure you get some good egg white around the edges. It acts like the paste. All right, once that's done, go ahead and grab. This is just a regular eating spoon. Grab you a nice handful. And if you notice, my pineapple is still chunky. I like it chunky. I mean, you can throw your in a processor and have it chopped down a little smaller. But I like mine chunky, so keep it nice and chunky. Alright. Make sure you keep it about 1 inch away from the edge. And then we're going to go ahead and fold it. So pretty simple. Bring one edge in. And then bring the other edge in. So you pretty much want to make like a triangle. And then you're just going to bring this other edge in right here. So bam, that's it. You can pinch the edges. So you can pinch the edges. But the egg white that you put on the edge is going to seal it. So you don't even have to worry about that. And bam. The next step is going to be to poke some holes in it. That way we can let out the steam while it's baking. Gonna put our egg wash on there. So while we're waiting for the... Ooh! Look at the color of this yolk. Just look at the color. I wasn't expecting this. That's that good old free-range egg right there. Look at the color. I promise you, I didn't put any food coloring in here. It turned my pastry yellow. Orange? Oh my god, look at the color. Amazing, isn't it?
Alright, so do the egg wash. And while we wait for the oven to preheat, it'll give the egg wash a chance to dry. Because typically you want your egg wash to dry a little bit on your pastry before you put it in the oven. But I am just amazed at the color. Oh my goodness. Amazing. And I know my triangles aren't perfect. But I think in time, with more practice, the more time I make these, I'll be able to perfect that triangular shape of the pine tart. Yeah, look at that. That is just so amazing. This is organic egg right here. Free range egg. All our chickens eat is bugs, scratch feed, which consists of corn and wheat, grass, bugs. Yeah, this is amazing. Alright, so we're gonna let this dry while our oven comes up to temperature. But I tell you what, I'm not gonna waste this egg right here. I'm not gonna waste this egg wash or this egg white. I'm gonna pour it all in one. And I'm gonna make myself some scrambled eggs in the meantime. It's just too good to waste. Too good. Alright, pastry has been baking for about 25 minutes. I ended up giving it an extra 5 minutes, but just look at it. Oh my gosh, it looks amazing. Gonna get Han to give it a try here in a minute, and he will tell me what he thinks about it, but that's how it looks. Amazing. So the pine tarts have been sitting for about 10 minutes or so that they can cool, because this is typically eaten at room temperature. It's not something that you need to warm up or, you know, heat up. It's something you can just eat at room temperature, because that's how we've always eaten it. So now I'm gonna have Han taste it, and let's see. It's moment of truth here. Let's see if it's a winner, because I slowly try to break him into my culture, you know, don't want to culturally overload him. Let's see what he thinks. How's the crust? Is it nice and soft and flaky? Let's take a closer look in here at the crust. Oh, yeah, crust looks good. Looking at his facial expression, I don't know.
Tastes like apple pie.
Tastes like apple pie. Huh.
Stringy apple pie, but apple pie.
Well, there you have it. He says it tastes like apple pie. You're not going to see me tasting it, because I know it's going to taste amazing. Because like I said, it's one of my favorite childhood snack. So thank you for watching. If you have any comments, questions, just drop us a comment below. And don't forget to hit a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already, just to see more fun stuff that we do around here. Bye.
Mm.
Okay.
You better start over.
Huh?
You were right in the middle of saying something when you went, honey, it's raining. You're like, we got to measure out 20 ounces of, honey, it's raining.
That would be a good outtake.